Good morning, TCM. It has been quite some time since we've had a tutorial for you guys. Oh my goodness. So it has been quite some time since we've had a tutorial for you guys, but we have a tutorial for you guys again. We are learning, some people call it like a vortex, and other people call it a tunnel flip. I'm gonna be calling it a tunnel flip just for the purposes of this video because that's what I know it as. And some people will take off with 1 foot, some people take off with 2, some people swing one leg up and across their body, some people don't. And I think it's all pretty much the same skill. So just for purposes of this video, I'm gonna be doing it my way. And if you have any questions about it, then feel free to drop it in that comment section down below. And while you're here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the video because we'll be releasing a new video for you guys every Saturday at about 11 a.m. So make sure you stick around for those because we're gonna be releasing some really cool content and I think it's quite cool. So stick around. So for prerequisites for this video, all you're gonna need to learn how to do is a side flip. If you do not know how to side flip, make sure you pause this video, go check the description for the link for the side flip tutorial from TCM. That is going to be in the description. Once again, in the description down below. Learn how to do that first and then come back and watch this one. Super easy variation that you can probably do the same day that you learn how to side flip. Do I recommend it? No, but you could probably do it because it's that simple. Just make sure you have enough body control and awareness to not get them mixed up. All right, so this move is pretty simple, pretty easy. If you can already side flip, I'm going to teach it standing first, and then I'm going to go into my one leg takeoff variation of it because it's the way that I prefer to do it. And then we'll get into the semantics of the whole thing later. But all you need is a bench and I mean, maybe some like grass. All right, so like I said, all you're gonna need is a bench because what you're gonna do is you're actually just going to come to the side that you can side flip. So for me, I go over my left side. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually just going to side flip this way. And it's just a regular side flip. Easy peasy, right? Now, once I get comfortable, you know, just side flipping off the bench, you can already, if you can already do this, you can skip this step by all means. But it's also not a bad thing for a warm up. So from here, now what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to start inching our way forwards instead of just sideways. So maybe instead of landing directly to my left, we're going to go forward and to the left at this corner here. So now instead of being back here, I'm 1 step forward. And you can kind of see where this is already going. So from here, now we're gonna start to try to pull it a little bit more and more in front of us, decreasing the amount that we're going left and increasing the amount that we're going to the front. So these are what they should look like. So that's the sideways one. Now this is gonna be the one where I go sideways and forwards a bit. So as you can see, the goal here is to keep our belly button facing the same direction that we're trying to go towards. What we do not want to see happen is as we start going forward and sideways a little bit, we don't want to see the shoulders turn into the flip and then hip forward. We want to make sure our shoulders stay in this same plane and in the same axis. And that's literally the entire tutorial here. Because if you could side flip, you can do this. Now from there, the goal would just be to, instead of starting to go sideways a bit, you're trying to increment it more and more forward. This is what that next step is gonna look like. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So those are our steps. Now, as for the variations of this, okay, you can do, so some people like to take off this way. Some people like to take off 2 feet, and some people like to take off this way. The preference is completely up to you. I still consider all of those vortex flips or tunnel flips or however you want to call them, just because the idea is still the same. You're keeping your belly button forwards, traveling forwards, you're not going sideways too much, and that's the whole skill. So if you want to play with the variations of it, then this is still the same spot that you would want to do. The variation that I'm going to be teaching is with the leg drive up first, this one here. So let's go over that one. So what I like to do for this And this is gonna be a bit tricky because I have this here, but like, you could even step and just go over the whole thing, and that would be fine. Yeah, don't sweat that too much. But basically, you're just doing like a Webster side flip, essentially. So you're going to drive that leg up, wait until that hip starts to pop upwards, and then once that leg starts to reach its peak, then you just bring everything in, spot your landing, and you're moving from there. And it's super, super cake. The most important thing is that you know how to side flip. And again, link in the description down below for the side flip tutorial if you don't know how to side flip. And it's as easy as that. Rather, let me see, it's as simple as that. So make sure you leg drive. Now, what I like to do with my arms, I'm gonna go over this because I know a lot of you aren't going to click on the side flip tutorial. What I like to do with my arms is the exact same thing that I'm going to do with my side flips, is I'm going to go palm and elbow up, and then my right arm, or my left arm, teapot and pours out. And so I go here, and then I pull through. Now the things that I am spotting, what I am looking for with my eyes, is I'm just trying to see where I'm going, making sure I am clear of the bench. Now the nice thing about this is that you can actually see when you're starting to drift which way. So I know if I'm going that way, or I know if I'm going forward, or I know if I'm just not cleared enough from here, which I mean, I'm always cleared enough from here, but I know if I'm not, because I'm able to watch and look before I finish my takeoff. So make sure that you're in your set, you're able to see everything before you start to go through the flip. All right, now a couple of common mistakes here that happen are people will often turn their shoulders, and this is the main thing, right? So as I talked about this earlier, you don't want your shoulders to be turning in any which direction. You want them to stay in the same axis and in that same plane, because that's what's gonna create that unique looking flip where you're traveling sideways with your belly button forwards. With this, what I like to think is that I have a spear or a rod going through my belly button, and if it's through my belly button, I can't exactly turn, right? Because if I turn, then it's gonna hurt. So if somebody's holding the other side, then I'm forced to stay in this axis and in this plane. And so that's why my belly button is stuck here. And that's just what goes through my brain, because I'm weird. But so that is the turning of the shoulders, and the shoulders leaving the axis in the plane are the most common mistakes. Now, the next common mistake is people will try, because you're facing forward, people will try to open like a front flip where they're putting their feet out in front of them. And obviously if your feet are out in front of you, that means they're not underneath you. And if they're not underneath you, then you're just gonna fall on your butt. So when we're doing this, you really need to treat it like a side flip. Even though you're still facing forward and you're traveling forward, it is still very much a side flip. So you still want to keep your ribs in, you still want to sit your butt back a little bit for the landing, and you still want to reach your feet underneath your butt, not out in front of you, because if you're going out in front of you like a front flip, then you're just gonna slide and you're not gonna land. So those right there are the two biggest common mistakes that there are for this trick and for this skill. So be aware of those. I don't think there's really a way to fix it other than conscious practice. Could I be wrong? I could absolutely be wrong. So this is interesting because the people that I teach this skill in person can just side flip, and I'm trying to run through the steps in my brain about what I do with this skill when I'm teaching it to them, because the way I just showed it to you guys, where you just kind of side flip off and you side flip forward, is infinitely more information than I actually give them, because they don't need the information, all right? Because they already have all the tools, they already have all the skills. But I don't know for you, because I don't know you. So I don't know what skills you have for doing this. But again, the main thing is just making sure you can side flip. I think that's the end of the tutorial. I'm really not gonna go into much more detail because I don't feel like you guys necessarily need it. This is just gonna be a quick one. And I guess with that being said, I'm gonna go weightlift. So there's your quick tutorials for today. Hopefully you learned something, and make sure you do a proper warm up. Happy training, happy Saturday, And if you guys have any questions about what you're doing, if you want to know if it's correct or anything, make sure you send us a line on our Instagram, which is @thecollectivemovements, or feel free to leave a comment if I wasn't very clear about something, which would make sense because it was kind of a half-baked tutorial, since most of you guys should be watching the side flip tutorial from this anyways. Make sure you go check out that. Again, link in the description down below. If you enjoyed the tutorial, most of them aren't like this, but if you enjoyed the tutorial, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know down below in the comment section what you want to see next. And happy Saturday, stay safe, and train safe.